So Friday morning, here we are again together. Pretty nice way to start the morning. A reminder, if you haven't already got water or a tea or something for hydration, now's a good time to perhaps grab that. I'm starting with a whakatoki this morning, again from this beautiful puka puka Māori order. And when I asked the puka puka to share with me, I wasn't expecting this today. Ahu mahi, industrious. Ko mahi, ko kai, ko noho, ko iri. Industry is food, idleness is hunger. Now, upon reading this at first, my perception was really around the concept of food. But the more that I've sat with it, the term hunger for me is in relation to a lot more than just food, especially in the 21st century where we live as essentially in the Western world, right? So just considering as we make our way to a seated position for a bit of meditation to start, where in your life is hunger showing up? When you're ready, closing down your eyes, dropping into your 3-part breath, where you're filling your navel, your side ribs, and your chest, creating some internal space with a 4 count on the inhale, and then a 4 count on the exhale as you focus on bringing belly button to spine. On each of your exhale, following this one, extending the count from 4, firstly to 5, and then next round to 6. I'm going to do this all the way to 8. So sticking with 4 count in, 5 count out. And 6 count out. And as you reach the 8 count on your exhale, releasing the count of your breath. Returning to your natural rhythm. Seeping into a little stillness before we start moving and grooving. And again, posing the question, where in my life is hunger showing up? And your next inhale, allowing the hands to find the knees. Beginning to move with your inhale and exhale through a seated cat and cow. Gently starting to open the front and the back lines of the body. And from here, inviting some rotation with that cat-cow, seeing if you can move the rib cage from front to side, back, and then other side. Just sticking in that one direction to begin with. Uncaging the heart this morning. Starting to find a little bit of mobility through the trunk. Let's do 3 more in this direction. And change ways. Beautiful. Returning back into stillness. Hands are still placed on the knees here. However, this time let's bring awareness into the navel center. As we move through 3 breaths this morning, just acknowledging on the exhale as we create a little more space in the puku, a little more space through the internal world. We draw in through the nose, let's hold in the navel center. And then on the exhale, exhaling, forcefully drawing navel to spine. 3 breaths here, drawing in to hold. Hold. 2, 3. Exhale, draw navel to spine. Again, big breath in. Hold. 2, 3. Forceful exhale, navel to spine. Final breath. Hold. 2, 3. Final exhale, navel to spine. Beautiful, releasing your hands from the knees. Gently softening your gaze, removing any prop which you're sitting on. And let's start by bringing ourselves to tabletop. So we're going to stick with the inhale of 4 here, and on the exhale, let's begin with 4, 3, 2, 1, hips to heels, full count as we come up. 2, 3, 4, and exhale. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 4, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. Exhale 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 4, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. Move yourself through the count of 7 and finalize on the count of 8, pausing in child's pose position, hips to heel. As we practice exhaling and lengthening on the exhale, we create a little more space internally. We also invite the conscious mind to slow. Perhaps we could consider this is the way we are creating idleness in the mind, stillness or space. So you pause in your child's position or child's pose, bring the breath into the navel now. Move back to your 4x4 breath. Beautiful. Alrighty, on this next inhale, let's start to draw ourselves back up to tabletop and let's follow what we moved through before. So I'll do a few cat cows here. And noticing the spine and the front and back line of the body. Can you pop the chest open a little more? Can you move the hips to create more space? Beautiful. From here, choosing a direction to move in your rotation. Go 5 each direction this morning. Again, mobilizing the trunk. Changing direction. Righty, as we come back to stillness here, let's come onto the knees. Let's bring the hands to the hips this morning as we step forward with the left leg. Again, if you need to pad out the knee, go for it. Let's keep ourselves in an upright position by using the inhale to lengthen through the crown of the head. And on the exhale, let's draw the hips forward to the front heel. Exhale, out they come. Sorry, inhale, out they come. Exhale, drawing hip towards the heel. Now I've untucked my back toe. Just notice if that feels good for you or if it feels good to tuck. You can also play around with that and just notice the difference it has on the hip area. Keep the breath flowing deeply. The hunger living in the hips today. Ready to go. 2, 1. Beautiful. This time as we come down to this low position, we frame the foot. Let's lift up with that back knee. This time move through 5 here as we drop it back to the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice from here, opening up, so we bring some rotation. And then let's reach forward with this top arm. Let's reach back with this top arm. And let's pretend we're clearing our field as we move our arm forward to back. Perhaps you're comfortable here, or if you need to, drawing that back knee to the floor. Thinking breath and movement, eyes follow the hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This time hands come to the inside of the foot. Knee places back to the floor. Let's move into a madman press up for 5. So from here, our elbows are tracking backwards. We gently rotate elbow armpits or elbow creases to the front of our mat. Elbows track beside the body. We come down as low as we can. Exhale, press out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Staying on the hands here, returning the leg back to tabletop. But from here, let's gently press it up towards the sky. So coming into our donkey kick. Nice. Let's flex through the foot. And then let's apply a little activation to the glute muscle. So squeezing actively the bum cheek, especially on that left side. Squeeze. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go for 20 gentle pulses. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Return that leg. Awesome. Let's walk the hands back to the hips. Stand nice and tall on the knees. This time we step forward with the right leg. Use the inhale to lengthen through the spine, and on the exhale, we draw the hip, the heel. Inhale, out we come. Again, playing around with the tucking of the toes at the back. Working this range as you start to open up through the hip flexor. Keeping the tailbone tucked. Yeah, almost like we're keeping the tension on through that left hip. Nice. Perhaps there's hunger living here. Nice one. Last one. Beautiful. From here, pausing in this low point, start to frame the foot with the hands. I welcome you to lift the back knee up off the ground for 5, 4, 3, drive the back heel away. 2, 1. If you're comfortable there, keep the knee up. Let's lift up with that right hand coming into a twist. On the inhale, let's reach forward with the upper hand. And then let's create rotation as the eyes follow, drawing the hand back. That's it. Clear your field on this side. Almost like cleaning windows, maybe a little less vigorous. Beautiful. Shining up that bubble. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Return the back knee to the floor. Let's frame the foot. Let's come to the inside of the foot. Sitting up for our mad human press up. So again, checking in with the elbow armpits or the creases, making them face the short edge of the mat, popping open the chest. Let's come down nice and slow. 2, 3, then up we come. Beautiful. Down. 2, 3. Now, most of the time as we move through this form of press up, what stops us is the mobility in the hip. So don't be concerned if you've got a small range of motion as opposed to when we normally do them. It's less of a press up, really. Nice. 2 to go. And lucky last. Beautiful work. From here, let's invite that foot back. We transition from tabletop to our donkey and we hold to squeeze, flexing through the foot, lifting the heel, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. That's it. Squeezing those glutes. You may notice one side's way easier to contract or activate than the other. Keep squeezing. And let's go for 20 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Return the knee to the floor. Let's walk the hands forward and slowly lower chest towards the ground. Awesome. From here, let's stack the hands on top of each other, placing the forehead onto the hands. We need to just take a moment to rest here, allowing the hips and the whole front body to feel into the floor. Noticing from your feet, including the tops of your feet, up the shins, your knees, then up past your hips and belly, chest and elbows. Let's take one deep breath here. Notice if you're holding anywhere. Alrighty, on the next inhale, inviting you to bring the feet together if they're not already, so zipping them on up. Take an exhale here. On the next inhale, gently lifting the feet up off the ground to hold. Head and elbows for now are still placed to the mat. Hold. And in a moment, we're going to move through some gentle pulsing just for 10 like this. So halfway to the floor and then squeezing back up. And let's pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7. Feeling this along the posterior chain to the back of the body. Hopefully you can feel some activation through the glutes, even through the lower back. Now the back is supported here, so there shouldn't be too much disruption, just a lot of muscle working. 3, 2, 1. Relax the feet to the floor again. Come back into that softening. On your next inhale this time, the feet zip back together. They lift up off the floor. This time the head and the elbows also lift. Now if this is too much for you, going back to the one that we started with before. Holding. Beautiful. On the next exhale, return the head and hands to the floor, including the elbows, keeping the feet up. Let's pulse again for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax onto your mat. Noticing any warmth beginning to accumulate in your muscles and your system. Awesome. On this inhale, let's release the hands from under the head, placing them beneath the shoulders. Using your power to press you up through child's pose, and then into downward dog. As we start walking out the heels, we're not here for long. If you need to be, that's also fine. But gently starting to make your way into a forward fold at the front of your mat. Taking your time. Alrighty. So we're coming into this forward fold to compensate for the activation we were just moving through, the back bends. So letting yourself just hang out here. Reminding you and your body that you don't have to do or hold. It's almost like a fold and flop, isn't it? Letting the head become heavy. Letting all of those brains weight you towards the floor. Awesome. From here, let's bring the hands to behind the legs, near the Achilles. And on the inhale, on the halfway lift, let's slide the hands up the back line of the body, coming into our halfway lift. Before finding the exhale and folding forward again. Now, we work quite extensively with the hamstrings through morning moves and morning yoga. I don't know about you, but hamstrings are quite fibrous. Most often than not, the hamstrings work in association with the antagonist muscles, many of them, but one in particular being the hip flexors. Again, inhale, let's come into a halfway lift. Hands slide up the back line of the body. Exhale, forward fold. And so for us to stand upright, we must be able to flex both forward and backwards. This time on the inhale, let's draw the hands all the way up the back line of the body, keeping the back beautiful and flat. And as you stand, dropping your awareness down into your feet, feeling that moment of presence in your body and in your mind. Awesome. We're going to come to the wide end of our mat, more so the long edge. Let's turn our toes in slightly. We're going to do some gentle twists here. Now, we started with the count of 4 on the inhale and a lengthened exhale. So we're going to do the same thing here. We'll stick with 4 on the inhale, and with the exhale, we will stay with an 8 count. Yeah, so double the length. Inhale, let's bring arms to shoulder height, beginning with the right arm, exhaling for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Eyes back to the hand on the floor. Inhale to lift. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. Same hand. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Eyes are looking to the top hand. Before we come up, eyes shift to the bottom hand. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Same side. Last one. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This time, pause here, hand flat to the floor. Let's strengthen up through the legs and really rotate as we look up to this top thumb. Inviting you to find your stillness, the idleness in this pose. Keeping the spine long. Again, eyes to the top thumb. Inhale, eyes look to the bottom hand. Take an exhale here. On the next inhale, rise for 4, 2, 3, 4. Release the hands by your side and feel what your body has for you. Now with this extended exhale, we create this real slowing down in the system. Let's shift to the other side. Inhale, hands to shoulder height. Exhale for 8. Left hand 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale for 4, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale for 4, 2, 3, 4. Last one, exhaling for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, eyes come to the top thumb. Strengthen up through the legs, find the extension through your spine, and dropping into idleness to stillness in your body. For these are the moments where we come to the space between our mind and our physical. It's easy to move one breath, one movement, but as we hold poses, more of the dis-ease arises in the mind, and where we find challenge in being still. Exhale, eyes draw to the bottom hand. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Release the hands. Again, drop into that stillness to receive. Alrighty. Just check where your toes are at. Make sure that you've still got them gently turned in. Bring the hands to the hips now. On the inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, let's come to forward fold through the center. Placing the hands to the floor, maybe even just the fingertips. Allowing the fingertips to face the same way as the toes. Coming into this forward fold now with wide legs. On the inhale, let's move through 4 again. 2, coming to halfway lift. 3, 4. Extended exhale for 8. This time count for yourself. Inhale for 4, halfway lift. And then exhale for 8. This time pausing in the forward fold. Bring elbows away from the fingers, creating space between the shoulders and the ears. The next exhale, hands come to the hips. On the inhale, rising up with a flat back, all the way to standing. Again, releasing the hands, dropping into sensation. Beautiful. From here, heel toeing feet back together. Let's make our way back to seated. So we finalized with some longer exhales to bring ourselves back into meditation, into this stillness, to reassess the hunger within. So get yourself comfortable, and when you're ready, closing down your eyes. As you close your eyes down, bringing awareness to your third eye, the space between your eyebrows, the back side of your forehead, becoming very clear on where this point is intuitively for you. On the inhale, drawing your awareness from your third eye center into your midbrain. On the exhale, traveling with your awareness from your midbrain back to your third eye center, and continuing to follow this motion of awareness and breath. Allowing the breath to be easeful and even. And as you intuitively follow from your third eye to your midbrain, again posing the question, where in my body does hunger live? Perhaps it's in your heart, a deep desire or hunger for connection. Perhaps you find hunger within your mind's eye or the midbrain, with a hunger to learn. Follow the inhale and the exhale. Just simply notice. As you continue to move from your third eye with your awareness to your midbrain and returning along the same path, you may notice a sense of luminosity, some light and opening along the forehead. Very similar to the space we were cleaning away, and my reference was cleaning windows. The same type of thing internally when we're using these different muscles and the eyes, halfway in the brain. Now, as you soften your breath and release control, noticing that organically that awareness of yourself continues to move in that motion. Illuminating and forging and formulating space and light. Allowing your mind to remain open in lives today. On your next exhale, gently softening your chin towards your chest, softening your gaze. Gently coming back into your space and continuing with your hunger for the rest of your Friday or your weekend ahead. An invitation to continue practicing that final piece of breath work and awareness. Perhaps even when you're going to sleep, you can practice drawing from your third eye into your midbrain with the inhale. And on the exhale, coming back to that point of the third eye. Yeah, it's a really beautiful practice and clearing and creating space internally.